is because they have issues which require some urgency in terms of determining. So that being the case, Honorable Speaker, even as I support what Honorable Wangari said, I think 2 years, to wait for 2 years to change the standing orders so that we are able to push some of these petitions to the departmental committees would be too much for Kenyans. You can use your power as the Speaker of the House, Honorable Speaker, to channel some of these petitions to the departmental committees for immediate action. Honorable Speaker, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Laikipia North borders Bole. I share the largest boundary with Laikipia North. Mr. Speaker, this forest is one of the forests that is required to revert back to the community, because whenever we have security issues, Mugogondo Forest, Mr. Speaker, is where the bandits hide. The community is better placed to manage that area, and therefore it's my view that this petition is very important. We have worked with Isala and Garidari forests. We have tried to get it back to the community, and we are in the process. And the other forest that we are working together is Mugogondo Forest. So, Mr. Speaker, it is very important also to give the community to have a corporate responsibility. They're a better place, because the way it is right now, Mr. Speaker, we have traditional trees in that forest. We have grazing a potential for that area. And Mr. Speaker, the government is not able to take care of it. The community is willing to do a lot of environmental conservation to preserve those traditional trees which are there. And we believe that if this petition goes successfully, the community will benefit in the long run, other than to leave it as it is right now.
You.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
We'll end there on this. Majority Leader is in the House. Majority Leader and your counterpart. This is not the first time we're having issue with this committee. And I want to advise you, honorable members, order Minority Leader. Order Minority Leader, pay attention. Honorable members, members of the public, citizens of this country have a choice to go to court, have a choice to go to provincial administration, have a choice to go to village elders, but they choose to come to the House of Parliament as representatives of the people because they have faith in you that you can solve their problems. It's a betrayal if that faith they have and come to you, and a year later, we are still on a wild goose chase with a committee whose chairman is not even in the House at petition time. Because unlike other committees, the Committee on Public Petitions is listed on the order paper every single day. So the chair of public petitions must know that of all committees, Majority Leader, it is only Public Petitions Committee that has the privilege of being listed on the order paper. And the anticipation of the chair is that there's a petition every day. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. So the chairman must be here to listen to the House, to listen to members, and get direction from the Speaker. So you must deal with this situation, Majority Leader.
Honorable Speaker, I spoke to the chair of the committee, the Honorable Karemba, who is newly elected, and he unfortunately is out of the country on official business, Honorable Speaker, but he has indicated that there are a number of petitions that are already ready, and he has communicated the same to the clerk, and they will be tabling those petitions as soon as he comes back. I was checking whether the Vice Chair was around. She's there. The Honorable Janet is there, and she can confirm that that's the situation. There are quite a number of petitions. The new administration in that committee has worked really hard to process many of the petitions that are there. But I must agree with you, Honorable Speaker, not just the Honorable Karemba. Honorable Speaker, you have no reason to sit in your chair and wait for quorum at 2:30. We have 60 chairs and vice chairs of this House. That is more than adequate quorum, Honorable Speaker. But it can be that the only vice chair who is usually here is Honorable Pokose and a few others. Chairs of committees, even statements are being requested here. There are no chairs of committees to answer to those statements. Quite often, Honorable Speaker, you have to ask me to inform a chair. Honorable Speaker, you know I am also not here to stand in for chairs of committees. When I am not here, Honorable Speaker, I will ask my vice chair to sit in for me, my deputy leader of majority, or the whip or the deputy leader of deputy whip. When the Honorable Junet is not here, he requests either the whip or the deputy leader of minority to sit in his place. Chairs have vice chairs. If a chair is not here, the vice chair must be in the House at 2:30. Honorable Speaker, I want to beg, as much as I know we have a workshop next week, these are some of the issues that we'll be discussing in that retreat. If a chair of a committee is not in the House at 2:30 and the vice chair is not there, I think we should agree between ourselves and the minority leadership that such chairs and vice chairs, then we have no reason having them as chairs or vice chairs. There are very many other members who can serve as chairs and vice chairs of the House. And every other member of this House has a capacity to chair or vice chair a committee. So, Honorable Speaker, let us delve into that issue more substantively. In the leadership retreat that we have next week with the liaison committee, the Honorable Wangare has already alluded to it. And since we have that meeting next week, is a matter, I think, as House leadership, all chairs and vice chairs we must agree on next week. And it's not just chairs and vice chairs of departmental committees, even those who sit in oversight committees and our select committees. We are obligated, you know, Honorable Speaker, responsibility must go hand in hand with the privileges that you enjoy as a chair or vice chair of a committee. I submit, Honorable Chair. But on public petitions, I think Honorable Janet, as soon as they finalize, they will be able to table many of those petitions. Thank you.
To whom much is given,
much is expected.
Much more is expected. We hope that those who have been given the privilege to chair committees will carry the responsibility that goes with that privilege. Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Majority Leader. As we go to the papers, Majority Leader, I hope the Minister for Interior is within the precincts of Parliament.
Yes.
Okay,
Mr.
go
Speaker.
ahead with the papers.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, let me take this opportunity to lay papers, but before I do that, Honorable Speaker, allow me the privilege to welcome a school from my constituency, actually my neighbor at home, St. Dominic School, which is in the public gallery, and want to welcome to the proceedings of the House, but more importantly, to encourage them to continue to work harder, provide, the school provides a good opportunity for them to actually realize their dreams. So welcome to the House of Parliament and the National Assembly as such for these proceedings. I thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Wednesday, August 13th, 2025, in the afternoon sitting. Legal notice number 136 of 2025 relating to the standards levy order 2025, the regulatory impact assessment and the explanatory memorandum from the Ministry of Investments, Trade and Industry. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay.
You are done? Yes. Chairperson, Public Investments Committee on Social Services, Administration and Agriculture. Let me finish this first.
Yes. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Wednesday, 13th August, 2025. 7th report of the Public Investments Committee on Social Services, Administration and Agriculture on its examination of financial statements of the following selected state corporations. 1. National Syndemic Disease Control Council, formerly National AIDS Control Council, for financial year 2017-18 to 2023-24. 2. National Social Security Fund for financial year 2021-22 to 23-24. 3. National Cancer Institute of Kenya for financial year 2019-20 to 2023-24. 4. Child Welfare Society of Kenya for financial year 2015-2016 to 2018-2019. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Next.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements.
Before we... You have a notice of motion? Go ahead. It's not listed, but go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and apologies, although it's with your approval.
Yes. Okay.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that this House adopts the 7th report of the Public Investments Committee on Social Services, Administration and Agriculture on its examination of financial statements of the following state corporations laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 13th August 2025. 1. National Syndemic Disease Control Council, formerly National AIDS Control Council, for financial years 2017-18 to 2023-24. 2. National Social Security Fund for financial year 2021-22 to 2023-24. 3. National Cancer Institute of Kenya for financial year 2019-2020 to 2023-24. And 4. Child Welfare Society of Kenya for financial years 2015-16 to 2018-2019. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Wangwe. Honorable members, allow me to acknowledge in the Speaker's gallery a team called Kieni Delivery Team from Kieni constituency, Nyeri. I've been requested by the member for Kieni to give him a minute to welcome his delivery team. Go ahead, Honorable Kieni.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, sir, for the opportunity given to me to welcome the team that I work with in Kieni, in both arms of the galleries, from the Speaker's gallery, from the public gallery and the Speaker's gallery, are men and women from Kieni, who I know in their own terms and capacities, they have an equal opportunity to be members of parliament at different times. But for now, they have given me an opportunity. No, I mean for now, they have given me an opportunity to serve them as their member, knowingly that they have all the capacities to do so. It is just a great opportunity that they have given me. Mr. Speaker, sir, the team in this House is the team that helps us to run the constituency. And they had an opportunity today to be taken and to learn the operations of this House, because they have been here for quite some time. And I want to thank the whole parliamentary team that have taken them through to know the registration purposes, the registration, the representation, and it was a good experience for them. And I want to thank, and I really want to appreciate that they have been given an opportunity. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. I join you in welcoming them to the House of Parliament. Yes, Honorable Junet.
Shungwa. Mr. Speaker, I wish to seek your indulgence, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sometimes back, I had requested a communication from you on matters relating on the bicameral parliament, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Shungwa, Mr. Speaker, as you are aware that there were issues that were raised, and our colleagues in the Senate went to court.
Order. Honorable Bukoso, take your seat.
Mr. Speaker, sometimes back, I had requested a communication from you.
It is actually pending.
It's pending, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, on a judgment that was made by the Supreme Court concerning the conduct of the bicameral system, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, that communication or that ruling, how you want to describe it, will be very important to us, Mr. Speaker, because Mr. Speaker, this is a matter that has been pending since the new constitution, since we had a National Assembly and the Senate, Mr. Speaker. People encroaching on other people's work and territory, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, even after the judgment of the Supreme Court, it's in bad faith for the Senate to go back again to the Supreme Court so that the Supreme Court can review their judgment, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, that is really, really in bad faith, because it is not the National Assembly that went to court. It is the Senate that went to court. They went to the High Court, they went to the Court of Appeal, and they ended up in the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court did a judgment, Mr. Speaker. Now again, the Senate to go back to the Supreme Court so that the Supreme Court can review their judgment, Mr. Speaker, is really in bad taste and in bad faith, Mr. Speaker. If the Constitution has given you certain mandate, and you are not satisfied with it, Mr. Speaker, the honorable thing to do is in the next election, you run for a seat that you think has the powers that you need, Mr. Speaker. You run as a member of National Assembly. You don't encroach on other people's constitutional mandate, Mr. Speaker. Because even us, as National Assembly, there are functions that we cannot do that belongs to the Senate. And they're very clear, Mr. Speaker. And there's functions that belong to the National Assembly. So if you feel, and there are functions that belong to governors, I cannot now masquerade as a governor. I can only be a member of the National Assembly. So, Mr. Speaker, the Constitution is very clear. And to make it even better, there was a judgment from the Supreme Court that demarcated the boundaries of the two houses, Mr. Speaker, that money bill can originate only from the National Assembly. This and this can only be done by the National Assembly. Counties, bills that concern counties, there must be consultation between the Speaker of the National Assembly and the Speaker of the Senate. There's clarity now, Mr. Speaker, through that judgment. But when I was told the other day, Mr. Speaker, the Senate has filed another case, a petition in the Supreme Court, so that the Supreme Court can review that judgment, Mr. Speaker, I really felt that is in bad taste. That is undermining the operations of the Parliament as a whole, not only as the Senate, Mr. Speaker. And if a senator feels that the Senate does not have enough work or does not have enough power, then come where power is. Mr. Speaker, some of the jurisdictions in the world, the Senate only sits quarterly. 3 months, they sit only once to look at issues that concern, elderly people and, this kind of things, Mr. Speaker. So I don't want to go that direction, Mr. Speaker, but what I want to say is that let us stick to the judgment of the Supreme Court, Mr. Speaker, and I request you, many of our members here have not read the judgment, or maybe they have not taken time to go through it, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to beseech you so that you can condense it in few words, the judgment, so that we know next time we don't encroach to what belongs to all the people and what belongs to the youth, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, majority.
Honorable Speaker, let me join the leader of minority in expressing concern over that issue. But Honorable Speaker, I want to take a different trajectory because we have been through this since the advent of the Bicameral Parliament after the 2010 Constitution in 2013. And fortunately, myself and Honorable Junet were in that first Parliament of the Bicameral Parliament post the 2010 Constitution. Honorable Speaker, this is an issue that every house, every parliament since the 11th Parliament has had to deal with. But I must congratulate you, Honorable Speaker, and the current Speaker of the Senate, because at least in this 13th Parliament, you have endeavored to make sure that there isn't too much friction between the two houses. But clearly, there are forces still within the institution of Parliament that do not want peace. The Honorable Junet is saying there are dark forces, and there must be very dark forces, Honorable Speaker, that do not want peace. Honorable Speaker, there is a thing that circulates on social media where someone says, I don't want peace. And it looks like there are people within this institution of Parliament, especially the other house, who do not want peace between the bicameral houses of Parliament. Honorable Speaker, I was saying I want to take a different trajectory because you sit at a different place from the Speaker of the Senate. You are the chair of the Parliamentary Service Commission. Being the chair of the Parliamentary Service Commission, Honorable Speaker, and having a bigger representation from this house in the Parliamentary Service Commission, you stand at a pivotal place to ensure that we do not spend any more resources prosecuting cases in court over issues that as leaders we can settle amicably, Honorable Speaker. Because it makes no point for taxpayers' money that has been appropriated by this House to the Parliamentary Service Commission to be expended on lawyers in court to go and review a matter that was already resolved by the Supreme Court, Honorable Speaker. If there is no greater wastage of public resources, I do not know what we would call this, Honorable Speaker. And I want to call on you, Honorable Speaker, as the chair of the Parliamentary Service Commission, to call to order the accounting officer in the Senate, Honorable Speaker, to ensure that no public resources are expended. If senators want a review of that judgment by the Supreme Court, let them contribute from their salaries, Honorable Speaker. Because the provisions of Article 109, 110, and 111 of the Constitution, all the way to 114 on money bills, Honorable Speaker, are so explicit that you do not need to have gone to any law school. I have never been to law school, Honorable Speaker. I only studied commercial law and the law of tort when I was doing my commercial law in my CPA studies.
You studied rudimentary law.
Let me not call it rudimentary law, Honorable Speaker. At least I studied some commercial law, basic law. And yeah, the basic elements of law, Honorable Speaker, you do not need to be a lawyer to be able to interpret Article 109, 110, 111, and 114 of our Constitution. How many bills have we returned, Honorable Speaker, from this House because they have come with a money bill effect, contrary to the provisions of Article 109 and 114 of our Constitution? Therefore, Honorable Speaker, I want to agree with the Minority Leader. As much as we are waiting for your communication on that matter, please, as the chair of the Parliamentary Service Commission, move the Parliamentary Service Commission to embargo any expenditure on matters to do with court cases between the Senate and the National Assembly. If that is not possible, Honorable Speaker, from your position as chair of the Parliamentary Service Commission, we would stand guided because we appropriate money to the Commission. We can do what we need to do at budget making process, even as we go to the supplementary budget, to make sure that we do not appropriate resources to be spent in court on lawyers, Honorable Speaker, over things that we can resolve here. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Robert, I don't want to escalate this. I want it. Okay, I'll give you 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think this matter that has been raised by the minority leader is an important issue because, Mr. Speaker, from 2010 or 2013 when the new bicameral system started, you notice not only have we had very many cases that have been taken to court, but there is a clear attempt to belittle the House of the National Assembly by the Senate. And in fact, Mr. Speaker, right now that they have gone to Supreme Court again also shows the disrespect they also have for the rule of law. How do you go back to the Supreme Court? Why can't you not respect the Supreme Court ruling? So, Mr. Speaker, it's very unfortunate. Speaker, I think maybe what we have done, which is maybe, in my opinion, the mistake we've made, is that we have actually tried to babysit the Senate for a very long time. I have served, this is my 3rd term here. But one of the problems we've always had is that almost every bill that you pass, they want to go and make changes to it. So, Mr. Speaker, I think it's important that we make these, you stand your ground and make sure that we do not baby them anymore. I think the support you give them, like every time they come to the Parliamentary Service Commission, they need support from you. You've given them the support. They needed to go out there and be able to go around their counties. You've given them the support to be able to go around. I think, Mr. Speaker, if we allow them to continue, the next thing they will tell us is that they want now a Parliamentary Service Commission for themselves. Mr. Speaker, put your foot down. Let us ensure that we treat them as equals to the National Assembly, not as superior to us. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. I'll give you direction in due course. Thank you, Honorable Junet, for raising. Actually, it's a reminder, something you had raised earlier. And they know that they are wrong. That's why they are even attempting to draft a constitution amendment bill to try and interfere with matters that are so clear in the Constitution. I can assure you they'll get nowhere. I'll give you direction. You could call it dead on arrival. Allow me to acknowledge Fra Junior School from Kipkelion East, Kericho. I welcome them to the House of Parliament and let them feel at home. Wangari? Majority Leader, you can bring in the Minister after Wangari's statement. We want...
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2b, as read together with Standing Order 179.14, I rise to make a statement regarding the conduct of the elections of select committees. Honorable Speaker, Standing Order 179.14 requires the chairperson of the liaison committee, by way of statement, to notify the House of a duly elected chairperson and vice chairperson of a committee when the House next sits after the conduct of an election. Honorable Speaker, on Tuesday, 29th July 2025, the House approved the appointment of members to serve in various committees as nominated by the Committee on Selection. Honorable Speaker, following the changes in the membership, the Clerk of the National Assembly, in exercise of the powers conferred under the provisions of Standing Order 179.2, declared vacancies in the offices of, number 1, chairpersons for the Public Petitions Committee and the Constitutional Implementation Oversight Committee, and vice chairpersons for the Departmental Committee on Regional Development and the Committee on National Cohesion and Equal Opportunity. The clerk has also declared vacancies in the committees affected by the consequential changes. To facilitate elections, pursuant to Standing Order 179.2, the clerk appointed Tuesday, 5th August 2025 as the date for elections. Honorable Speaker, in line with the provisions of the standing orders, the affected committees conducted the elections of their chairpersons and vice chairpersons as scheduled, with the exception of the Public Petitions Committee and the Constitutional Implementation Oversight Committee, whose elections were held on Wednesday, 6th August and Wednesday, 13th August 2025, respectively. In this regard, Honorable Speaker, I wish to report to the House that the 4 committees elected their leadership as follows. Number 1, the Honorable Eric Mushangi Njiro, CBS MP, was elected as the chairperson of the Committee on Public Petitions. Number 2, the Honorable Omondi Karoli, MP, was elected as the chairperson of the Constitutional Implementation Oversight Committee. Number 3, the Honorable Liza Chelule Chepkorir, MP, was elected as the vice chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Regional Development. And finally, the Honorable Madenge Duncan Maina, MP, was elected as the vice chairperson of the Committee on National Cohesion and Equal Opportunity. Finally, Honorable Speaker, may I take this opportunity to congratulate all the honorable members who have been elected and vested with the responsibilities of being chairpersons and vice chairpersons of the 4 committees. I urge them to use their leadership offices to efficiently discharge the mandate of this House through the respective committees for the welfare of our people and the advancement of the prosperity of our nation. I once again congratulate and wish them well. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I similarly congratulate them and wish them well, particularly the chair for public petitions. I hope he'll bring a difference to that committee. Bowen.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2c, I wish to request a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration, National Security regarding the disappearance of one, Mr. Kimtai Betwell Jesir, ID number 11339697. Honorable Speaker, on the 7th of August 2025, Mr. Kimtai Betwell Jesir, the national ID number 11339697, a resident of Marakwet East, was forcefully abducted by unknown assailants under unclear circumstances. This incident was prompted and reported at Kaptagat police station and recorded under the OB number 2728/7/8/2025. However, despite the fact that the official report was made, Mr. Jesir's whereabouts remains unknown up to date. And Mr. Speaker, neither his family nor the public have received any substantive updates from the relevant security agencies. The enforced disappearance has caused a profound distress to his immediate family and the wider people of Marakwet East. It's also intensified existing concerns regarding the safety and the security of our citizens and the adequacy of government response. Honorable Speaker, 5 days since the person disappeared, and his family remains, his whereabouts remains unknown. This has caused, Mr. Speaker, a distress to the family, raising questions regarding the protection and the fundamental rights guaranteed under the Article 29 of our Constitution. The lack of transparency, accountability, and the prompt action not only erodes the public confidence in the security institutions, but also threatens the very fundamental foundations of our democracy. Enforced disappearance, Honorable Speaker, contradicts to the principles of the rule of law and democratic governance to which the nation is committed. Mr. Speaker, it's against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Committee of Administration and National Security on the following. 1. The comprehensive report on the circumstances surrounding the disappearance of one Kimtai Betwel Jasir, national ID number 11 33 96 97. Number 2, the actions being taken by the Ministry of Interior and the National Administration to ensure that Mr. Jasir is expediently traced and reunited with his family and the perpetrators be brought to a book. And the last, Honorable Speaker, the measures put in place by the Ministry of Interior and the National Administration to ensure the safety of innocent Kenyans and the security of residents of Marakwet East constituency in order to prevent further abduction. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Yes, Konserai, why can't I finish with this statement first? Yes. Tongoyo, you've heard, and your minister is also here. Can you bring a response? If what he's saying is true, that this man was abducted by armed hoodlums, then his life is in danger. Can you bring a preliminary report on Tuesday?
Honorable Speaker, I think taking advantage of the minister here, I'm sure he has had it. Maybe we can process a preliminary one and maybe have a comprehensive one to resume from the recess.
Yes. Once you identify that he's alive and he's somewhere where you can release him to his family, the details on why it happened can come later.
And the minister, Honorable Speaker, is listening as well.
Yes, Gonzarai, you are asking about the disappeared person.
Yes, the abducted person.
The minister is here. Take your seat. I'll give you an opportunity at some point to ask him. Yes, Bowen, I've directed that a preliminary response be brought on Tuesday afternoon.
Mr. Speaker, because the CS is here, maybe if he has any clue of it, because Mr.
That is an ambush. They will bring a response on Tuesday. We have many questions the minister is going to ask, but if it's gratuitous
most have liked to, Mr. Speaker,
and he has the facts, he happens to come from the same count as yourself. If he knows, there is no chair here. Yes, Tongoyo.
Speaker, I think the issue of Bowen that has been sorted. Honorable Speaker, I just need your indulgence. There was a petition that has been written to this House by two petitioners from Narok County. One, Anthony Clerai.
We are long past petition.
That is why you saw me consulting with the director, Honorable Speaker.
Can you raise it tomorrow?
Okay, well guided, Speaker.
Please do raise it tomorrow.
Okay.
We are now on a different order. Sometimes when you don't catch the Speaker's eye, you see many of your colleagues walk up to the chair to alert the Speaker that I have a burning issue, and I give them an opportunity. So next time you can do that. Yes, Sane, what is itching you?
Thanks for your kindness, Speaker. In the last sitting, the temporary Speaker, Honorable Wagari, did give an instruction that there should be an addendum to today's questions regarding the CS who is in the House, and that addendum regarding a missing person who Wajir North is not listed. I seek your indulgence that I be allowed to ask the same.
I will allow you at an appropriate time. Minister, welcome to the House. We are now at question time. Honorable members, we had directed that we have the Minister or the CS for Education. He has indicated that he's closing some public event in Meru and has requested that we indulge him to come to the House at a different time. In any case, the pressure was about the event that is closing today as to why the children who went to Meru were not facilitated. Be that as it may, the matter remains alive. I have been advised by the Majority Leader that he may move the House to sit the whole of next week. If he does so, then Owen Bayer, you are directed to get the Minister for Education here on Wednesday afternoon to respond to that issue. Yes, Major Dong, I give you 3 minutes to present your statement very quickly. Give him the mic.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise pursuant to the Provision Standing Order number 44-2C. I rise to request for a statement from the Chairperson of Departmental Committee on Education regarding the status of conversion of SVAC Community School in Embakasi Central Constituency to a public primary school. Honorable Speaker, SVAC Community School is the only school serving densely populated area of Matopeni Spring Valley Ward in Embakasi Central Constituency. For many years, the school has been sustained through efforts and sacrifices of the local community and well-wishers. However, due to growing financial challenges against increasing demand, the community is no longer in a position to support the institution's operation sustainability. Following several community meetings to chart the way forward on the sustainability of the school, a resolution was made on June 2024 that the ownership and management of the school be formally transferred to the national government. The resolution and supporting documents, including minutes and official correspondences, were duly submitted to the Sub-County Director for Education and the Deputy County Commissioner, requesting the necessary administrative action to convert the school into a public primary school. Honorable Speaker, despite this clear community consensus in public interest and procedural compliance, the process of converting the school remains incomplete. As a result, the school continues to struggle operationally and financially, threatening the light of education for children currently enrolled in the school. Most critically, interventions to upgrade the infrastructure through public resources, including from the National Government Constituency Development Fund, NGCDF, cannot be made since the school remains categorized as a community institution. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education on the following. Number one, to provide a clear status and update on the conversion process of ESVA Community School to a public primary school. Number two, the steps being taken to expedite its registration and gazettement as a public primary school to pave way for government funding, including through NGCDF, for essential infrastructure development. And finally, Mr. Speaker, I want the chairperson confirmation on the plans in place to deploy trained teachers and provide adequate learning materials to SVAC Community School upon conversion to a public institution. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Major Dong. Education Chair, Vice Chair, Majority Leader, there you are again with your missing chairs.
Honorable Speaker, we can do this. I think it's a simple matter, and I think the Honorable Meli would dispose of this matter by Tuesday. I'll be in touch with him, Honorable Speaker.
Tuesday afternoon.
Sure, yeah.
Now we got questions. The first question 008 by 2025, stroke 2025, sorry. Kimani Kuria, MP for Molo. Minister, welcome to the House. You are not a stranger here. You are a former member of the other House, and you have been here many times. You're welcome to answer questions precisely, concisely. And members, today I'll be very strict. To every question, a supplementary and one joyrider. No more.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, could the Cabinet Secretary explain the following? One, provide details on the state of security in this country, including steps being taken by the ministry to avert death and destruction of property, especially during demonstrations. Number two, to outline actions being taken to forestall the destruction of property and death during demonstrations. And three, indicate when the government will apprehend the culprit or culprits responsible for financing and mobilizing of demonstrations that led to deaths and destruction of property, especially on the 25th of June 2025 and the 7th of July 2025.
Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, first let me start by apologizing for being unable to attend the last two sessions as per your invitation, and thank the House for the indulgence for allowing me to attend to the other national security duties, including an engagement that involved the President of Uganda, which ensured that we were unable to be here as requested. So, Mr. Speaker, you know that anytime I'm invited to come to the House, I take great joy and appreciation, and I have great support for this august House and utmost respect for its duties and my responsibilities to appear before you. So, Mr.
Apology
Speaker,
taken. Now answer the question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on the question raised by the Honorable Kimani Kuria, part one is on the state of security in the country, including steps being taken by the National Police Service to avert death and destruction of property during demonstrations. Honorable Speaker, since last year, the country has witnessed a series of protests across various counties following calls for anti-finance bill demonstrations, which culminated in the protests of the 25th June 2024 and resulted in unfortunate fatalities and destruction of property. In 2025, despite a general return to normalcy, political actors renewed online mobilization efforts calling for fresh demonstrations. Mobilizations was largely conducted through social media platforms using hashtags, Mr. Speaker, such as Occupy State House, Occupy Everywhere, Syrian in numbers, 77 in numbers, among others. Despite advice by police commanders, no prior notification was submitted to the police by the organizers as required by law. Consequently, the National Police Service only became aware of the planned protest through media, prompting the police to prepare the necessary security plans to maintain public safety and restore order. In other cases, some organizers assured security agencies that the demonstration would be peaceful. However, Mr. Speaker, contrary to these utterances and assurances, the protests quickly escalated into chaos and violence, culminating in incidences of looting, arson, and widespread destruction of public and private property. The protests were further characterized by widespread acts of lawlessness, which led to torching of 9 police stations and posts, Deputy County Commissioner's office, and court buildings. In addition, numerous supermarkets and private business premises were vandalized and looted, resulting in significant economic losses and disruption of essential services. In particular, Mr. Speaker, during Sabasaba, demonstrations and 25 lives were lost, with 45 civilians and 170 police officers injured. Key among the government offices and premises that were damaged in the 2 demonstrations include the Assistant Chief's Office, Molo Ward Administrator Office, and Molo Railway Station, Nakuru County, Office of the Women Representative in Kisii County, NCPB Sagana Administration Block. And on 25th June, Mr. Speaker, we regrettably lost lives, and close to 600 others were injured, including 496 law enforcement officers. Public facilities also bore the brunt of the destruction, including Dagoretti Police Post, where the criminals stole guns and razed residential buildings housing the police families. In Kikuyu, a mob attacked government offices, torching Kikuyu Police Station, the sub-county headquarters, National Registration Bureau offices, county government offices, Assistant Chief's office, the Kenya Forest Service office, Kikuyu Law Courts, as well as Dagoretti Police Post and police lines. They also partially destroyed the Kikuyu Sub-County Probation Office and damaged 4 motor vehicles belonging to Dagoretti Police Post, including that of other officer in charge. Other property destroyed in the Dagoretti Police Post, Mr. Speaker, includes 3 Probox vehicles, 1 double cabin, county government vehicle, a school bus, and 14-seater matatu that were parked within the police station. 5 guns were also stolen in Dagoretti Police Post, as I said. Another 4 firearms were burned in Gashui Police Post. One of the guns stolen in Dagoretti on 25th of June was used to commit robbery in Naivasha the following day. Further, on June 25th, a rowdy group of youth attacked Matu Police Station, leaving 8 officers injured and several government vehicles damaged. The building housing the station was also destroyed. 18 suspects were charged in connection with this particular attack. In Machakos County, Mr. Speaker, 66 suspects linked to the torching of a gas tanker along Kitui Road on 7th July were arrested and charged. In another attack, arsonists invaded and burned Olkalau Police Station Mr. Speaker, killing 3 suspects who were in custody. They also torched 26 vehicles, 18 county government motorbikes, burned down an exhibit store, and destroyed a reporting office. In Nakuru County, Mr. Speaker, Viwandani patrol base in Naivasha was burnt, while firearm loaded with 20 rounds of ammunition was snatched by criminals at Shauri Moyo. Several other security installations across the country were attacked, leaving citizens exposed. A total of 16 police stations and posts were either burned or destroyed, and on the 2 days of terror. In Naivasha, Nakuru County, goons looted stock from Naivas, Power Star, and Ketia Supermarket, and thereafter set ablaze Power Star Supermarket. A total of 100 people were arrested and charged with various crimes in relation to these acts of criminality. In Ruiru, Mr. Speaker, within Kiambu County, a similar fate befell Quickmart and Carrefour supermarkets, where goons stole property worth millions of shillings after breaking windows and destroying CCTV cameras in the establishments. A total of 86 arrests were made in relation to the crimes committed on various charges were preferred. Naivas supermarket within Nyeri town was also broken into, and goods worth millions of shillings carted away. 21 suspects have been arrested in connection with this crime. On the same day, a group of rioters invaded Mountain Mall within Kasarani area in Nairobi County, where they looted goods from Naivas supermarket and other shops and the mall. 3 suspects were arrested and arraigned accordingly. At Kidurai 44 area, another set of criminals invaded Kismat supermarket. In Eldoret, goons broke into Ketia supermarket and stole goods worth millions of shillings. 12 suspects were arrested and arraigned in court. In Meru, a group of thugs set ablaze Muguna supermarket using suspected petrol bombs. The criminal elements also stole alcoholic drinks from 7-Eleven bar. Selenite supermarket was not spared the looting and mayhem. 40 suspects were arrested in Meru in relation with these criminal acts. In Kirinyaga County, 21 suspects linked to the looting at Nice supermarket in Muya town were arraigned. Gangs also torched the Kirinyaga Central NGCDF office, leading to the arrest and arraignment of 4 suspects. In Kikumbo town, mobs broke into County supermarket and stole goods worth millions of shillings. 2 suspects were arrested and arraigned in connection with this incident. In another incident, Mr. Speaker, marauding gangs stormed the operating theater of the Kitengela Sub-County Hospital, interrupting an emergency cesarean section and terrorizing patients and medical staff. 2 suspects were arrested and arraigned in court. Evidently, all these events were well orchestrated and coordinated by certain actors with the intention of inciting unrest, destabilizing public order, and undermining national stability. In light of this evolving landscape of demonstrations, and more so the violent nature of the protests that proved to be a threat to national security, the National Police Service being constitutionally mandated to enforce law and order, Mr. Speaker, responded by implementing measures to forestall violence and violence and damage to property. The role of police in managing demonstrations is guided by the Constitution of Kenya, 2010, the Public Order Act, Cap 56, and the National Police Service Act of 2011. Article 37 of the Constitution of Kenya provided everyone has a right to assemble, to demonstrate, picket, present petition to public authorities, peaceful and unarmed. However, this right is not absolute and is subject to limitations provided for under Article 24 of the Constitution, which permits reasonable and justifiable limitation in a democratic society, e.g. to protect public order, public safety, and rights of others. The Public Order Act also provides the same, Mr. Speaker. And I have reproduced, Mr. Speaker, at length the various provisions of the Public Order Act, and I don't wish to read any further. The statement will be circulated, Mr. Speaker, which includes what of importance is the members of public are required to provide and present a notification to police officers at least 3 days before any such demonstrations. And that, Mr. Speaker, at least 3 days, but not more than 14 days before the event. And, Mr. Speaker, that must be in writing, who is coming to protest, the names, the estimated number, the routes, and so forth, Mr. Speaker. And the police may acknowledge the same. And this is not done so that we can give the right to demonstrations, basically to ensure that the police officers are prepared to provide security during such demonstrations. So on part 2 of the question, Mr. Speaker, the Honourable Member would like to know on the actions being taken to forestall the destruction of property and death during demonstrations. And, Mr. Speaker, the Ministry remains steadfast in this commitment to safeguard lives and property during demonstrations through the following measures. Number 1, intensified both mobile and foot patrols in targeted areas to enhance visibility, deter criminal elements, and detect early signs of unrest. 2, intensified efforts to lobby for more budgetary allocation from the National Treasury to meet its logistical and operational requirements, hence rapid deployment capabilities during demonstrations. Number 3, embraced modern policing technologies such as CCTV surveillance, drone monitoring, digital communication systems, and incident mapping tools to monitor crowds, track threats in a real time, and coordinate timely intervention, ultimately enhancing the effectiveness of law enforcement during protests. 4, leverage on real-time intelligence, informer networks, and surveillance tools to identify planned disturbance and criminal elements before they mobilize. 5, engage with community leaders, civil society, and Nyumba Kumi clusters to help gather early warning information and promote peaceful resolution before protests escalate. And finally, Mr. Speaker, issue advanced public advisories and engage through media to encourage peaceful demonstrations and warn against unlawful activities. Mr. Speaker, in addition to that, as a deterrent measure, also prosecuting, arresting and prosecuting perpetrators in good time is extremely important in forestalling a repeat of same incidences. The next part is the Honourable Member would like to know when the government will apprehend the culprits responsible for financing and mobilizing during demonstrations that led to the destruction of property and deaths of 28 June and July 7th this year. Mr. Speaker, the National Police Service initiated investigations into a range of offences committed during the recent demonstrations. The investigations aim to identify individuals who financed, facilitated, and mobilized the demonstrations across the country, leading to the destruction of public and private property, loss of lives, and injuries to civilians and police officers. In the course of these investigations, the service has obtained several financial statements and data linked to persons of interest, which are currently undergoing forensic analysis. Additionally, information relating to the registration particulars of companies, non-governmental organizations, and societies believed to have played roles, and non-governmental organizations and societies which are believed to have played a role in facilitating the protest has been acquired. The National Police Service is working in close collaboration with various government agencies and stakeholders to expedite investigations. These include the National Transport and Safety Authority, the National Registration Bureau, the Communication Authority, the National Intelligence Service, the Registrar of Companies, the Financial Reporting Center. So far, preliminary analysis of this evidence gathered have led to the identification of several persons of interest believed to have participated in illegal acts during demonstration and those linked to the funding and mobilization of the demonstrators. About 1,500 people have been arrested countrywide and are facing various charges including terrorism, murder, robbery with violence, sexual assault, arson, malicious damage to property, and targeted attacks on strategic infrastructure. The police have also arrested and arraigned 15 individuals across the country associated with the planning and mobilization have since been charged with various offenses, including offenses under the Prevention of Terrorism Act, unlawful assembly, participation in unauthorized demonstrations, incitement to violence, organizing unlawful protest, destruction of public property, arson, malicious damage to property, aiding and abetting unlawful acts, unlawful possession of ammunition, unlawful possession of tear gas canisters. Investigation to identify additional financiers and mobilizers of the protest and arraign them before the court are ongoing. I submit, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I submit.
Yes, the first shot goes to the questioner. Kimani, you are satisfied? If you are, we give way to somebody else.
I think the statement is quite comprehensive, but we really urge the National Police Service to make sure there is protection of lives and property. The rights of protesters should be protected, but so should the rights of the other citizens. And this issue of attacking people, their persons, their personal property because of a national matter must really come to an end. It's very, very unfortunate, and we are hoping that the Minister will put all effort necessary to make sure, yes, as much as the rights of the protesters are protected, the properties and the rights of other citizens are protected as well. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Robert Mbui. Let me have Robert Mbui before I come to you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I do sympathize, of course, with the rights of people being trampled on and the property that is destroyed. But, Mr. Speaker, I would like to ask the CS, because he's been on record on these matters, how will you deal with the police officers that would shoot demonstrators when it is on record that none other than the President, yourself, and a high-ranking member of this House have actually given instructions, shoot on sight, to our police officers?
KJ.
Honorable Speaker, I thank you. And I must commend Waziri for the response that he's made to the House. And Mr. Speaker, allow me, we might not be, as a country, we should not be like the warthog to forget too quickly. I think there is commendation that needs to go to Waziri, being the most immediate former Minister for Sports, for being able to play a part in delivering CHAN, in delivering the elections at FKF, getting us a good team, and the results that we are seeing. Waziri, you deserve some accolades for the work you did in your short stint as Minister for Sports. We are seeing the results. Thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, as Waziri has indicated, Dagoretti South constituency received a disproportionately higher share of the violence, especially on the 25th of June last year, 25th of June this year, and on the 7th, Sabasaba, and in part because being in Nairobi, when there are protests in the city, some of our officers are deployed in the city center and some of our institutions are left exposed. But Mr. Speaker, I want to commend Waziri because immediately on the following day, he was in Dagoretti, he was on the ground, he made responses, and my question is in two parts. My question is, would Waziri tell us what it shall take for us to get officers at Mudhoa Police Station? Mudhoa Police Station is not too far away from Dagoretti Police Station. Dagoretti Police Station carries our name, but administratively it is in Kikuyu. However, in the absence of Kingongo, which we call Dagoretti Police Station, that
nominated kuhesabu kwa ajili ya kusherekea fasili na asili ya soka barani Afrika, ligi za ndani na magwiji wasiotambulika.
Mangeni Alvin anaichanja ndani uzuri, David!
Michuano ya CAF ya mataifa ya Afrika 2024 ni njia ya kuzindua kupanua mtandao wa wachezaji ulimwenguni. Timu itakayoshinda itazawadiwa dola za Marekani milioni 3.5 pamoja na kujivunia kulinyanyua kombe hilo. Pata manufaa zaidi kutoka kwa CHAN 2024 mubashara na kipute cha kipekee kwenye runinga ya KBC Channel 1, mwenzio wa dhati michezoni.